What's up guys, in this video I'm going to share with you how I spent over $60,000 on Google Ads and what I've actually learned from it. I'm going to share with you 7 key points that are going to help you out to be successful with Google Ads and Shopify dropshipping, and by the end of this video you will have an exact game plan on know what you should do when you're starting Google Ads or what you can change in order to become more successful with it. So before I get into this video, I just want to quickly announce that I've got a free giveaway going on. It's a free, fully built Shopify store, so all you have to do is comment down below Surge and then also hit that subscribe button. I will check if you've subscribed or not if you are the winner, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and comment down below Surge. In the next couple days I'll pick that one lucky winner. I'm also super excited to announce the free one-to-one consult. Spots have just opened up for the Ecom Surge program, so if you're interested in that, then there's a link in the description, the first link. Just click on that and sign up for a free consult call with me, and we can go through if you're a good fit for this program. All right, now let's get into this video and let me jump into my computer and go through these 7 key points that are going to help you out with your Shopify dropshipping store and how I spent $60,000 on Google Ads. All right, guys, so now this is how I spent over $60,000 on Google Ads, and this is what I've learned from it. So I'm going to go through 7 key points for you and what you need to consider whether you have done Google Ads or you haven't. I think you should take this into consideration and change if you're not currently doing any of this. If you are doing all of these things, that's great. Just continue on and stay consistent with what you're doing. So let's get into the first point. Is branding. I've spoke about this in other videos, but I think this is very, very important, especially in 2020, going from the normal way that everybody does dropshipping, which is with a general store. Now, I still recommend when you get started to go with a general store, to test your products and then move into a niche store. But what I'm specifically going to be talking about is how your ad spend can be way more effective when you're on a brand or when you're branding your store and drop shipping it, right? So the things you want to consider, this is mainly for a niche store. If you got a general store, then this you can still take in consideration on how you can still brand a general store, but it's still going to be very hard to do that. So if you have a niche store and you're thinking about going into a niche store, then focus on how does the customer feel when they come into the store. Do they think you're an Amazon style, which is like a general store base, or do they think they're in an actual branded thing? So you're, at the end of the day, your product doesn't have to actually have any brand on it, but does the feel, the look, and everything about your store feel like a branded store? It doesn't feel like a normal dropshipping store. And if you don't know what I mean by a normal dropshipping store, then go around on Facebook on anybody who's selling an e-commerce product. They're mainly going to be general stores, and check out those stores, and then go and look at big brands like High Smile, Snow Teeth Whitening, the laser hair removal, I think it's called Hey Silky Skin. All of these branded sort of, I know they're all in the beauty niche or in beauty category, but what you can do is actually just check out how clean and how different they are to a normal dropshipping store. And that's the way you want to be able to present yourself in any sort of field. You want it to be clean, you want it to look nice, you want it to represent uniquely your brand. And also what you got to consider is with Google Ads, a lot of customers can just compare your brand to other brands. So what you want to do is have an irresistible offer, something that these customers either can't get anywhere else, or it's unique to just your specific store. Like you're giving away something that if it's something for free that only your store can do, maybe it's something branded, just something that's different to everybody else who's selling the exact product. Now, if you're selling a branded product with your logo on it, then this actually doesn't set you apart just because you have a logo on it, because at the end of the day, most people probably have never heard of your brand. So to them, it just looks like any other logo that anybody else has that can just slap it on. Like on Amazon FBA, they teach you just to put your logo or anything on the product. Even though it has a logo on it, it means absolutely nothing to anybody because they don't know of your brand. So at the end of the day, a logo doesn't really mean anything, whether it's on the product or it's not. So the only way you're going to get that customer is with a good, irresistible offer for them to take up over other brands that do not have that offer. Another thing you can have with your dropshipping store is have unique images that nobody else has. So one that's going to help your advertising as well and stand out more on Google Shopping specifically. And you're going to be different. So that means your CTR, your click-through rate is going to be a lot higher than everybody else who's just using AliExpress photos. And when you come into your website, you have unique photos that are either lifestyle images, they're in use if it's a product that needs to be shown in use. So these things are going to set you apart from other people who are just drop shipping and just getting things from AliExpress. So number 2 is window shopping. So what I've learned is that a lot of customers do come in when you have the right product, the right pricing, the right images, and people do come in. But at the end of the day, they're doing window shopping because there's just so many other people on the platform that they can compare you to. And this goes back to what I was talking about just before, irresistible offer, right? You worked so hard to get that person in, but they just bounced and they just left, right? So they're doing window shopping. They're just trying to find the best deal. So you're trying to do as much as you can to get that customer to convert, or at least remember you to come back. So you have to keep in mind that most people are window shopping and they are pairing you to the competition. So keep in mind that as Google Shopping is there's so many people on that first page that they can just check around and see what else there is. And mainly people are clicking by price. So that's a big factor in this as well. But that's where, when you even do get the click, that's where you can be able to convince the customer of why you are even worth more because of your brand. Also, when you do start your products, usually you're going to be coming up for broad keywords. And that's where people are searching majority of the time, right? They're just searching for these broad keywords. So you want to understand that when these people are coming in through broad keywords, they are not necessarily buyers. They're more than likely just shopping around to see what's out there on Google because they got interested in something. Either they've known about it or they don't know about it, and then your product has shown up for that keyword. So the third point is testing. So the more products you start to upload, the more success you're naturally going to get. And I know people do a certain amount of products and then they try to focus on getting that spending on the ads and getting those keywords and then optimizing over time. For me, I've done that a few times for some products where I've just gone straight there. And yeah, they worked for a little bit, but I just wasn't able to push it and make it work from there. And then that may be my own mistakes and things I didn't consider at the time, that as I'm learning through more and more things that maybe I didn't consider at the time for that, and I could have missed it. And me looking back, potentially there would have been a few things. But at the end of the day, that's what I found, and I'm giving you guys my experience on what I've done with over 60,000 in spend, and this is what I'm learning from it. Because at the end of the day, you're always going to be learning new things. The more you spend, the longer you're in the game. So I don't ever think that you can become a full expert at this, because you're always going to learn. Things are going to change. You're always adapting. So this is what I'm learning from it. And what I've gathered is you need to continually upload, and this is specifically for Shopify dropshipping, right? Or dropshipping in general, whether you be on WooCommerce or any other platform. With dropshipping, with Google Ads, I've seen you need to constantly be uploading new products in order to keep your store going, consistently be making money and making sales. And then any winners you have, you're taking them off your general store, putting them on a niche store. And also the second point is timing of your ads. So you want to make sure that the longer your ads are out there, the better that they become. So just because you come into a market where you can maybe fit pricing wise, keywords wise, there could be competitors in there who have been there for a while, and that they're just being able to take all the customers because Google trusts them. They've got a better quality score compared to you. So you got to give yourself some time on those ads as well. So my next point is scaling. So Google's scaling is very limited, or not very limited, but it's limited compared to Facebook because it's a demand-based platform. It's not an impression-based platform. I've talked about this in other videos, but Facebook is all impression-based. People are scrolling through Facebook as they do usually on the day, and then boom, a Facebook ad just pops up for them. But with Google Ads, the person needs to actively go to Google and search for those keywords that you've put in your description for your product, and then you are shown and presented. So you basically need to wait for somebody to come and search for you, while Facebook, you put it in front of them, right? So that's the difference, where when you want to scale, say tomorrow, you can't be like, yes, I'm going to put $500 in and I'm going to spend that $500, because Google is going to determine how many people actually search and then how often you're going to be able to show up for those searches, and then spend the money that way when you get a click as well. So it's not even based on impressions. Facebook is, okay, you want 1,000 people, you want 1,000,000 people tomorrow, I got you. They're going to spend that whole budget, no problem at all, and they're going to spend the impressions. And most of the time, that's not a good thing, right? Like, that's why I kind of like Google, because it gives you that advantage that you're not going to pay for anything until they actually click on your ad. So keep that in mind when you're trying to push and scale a product. You have to look at the metrics like competitor metrics and budget ranking. Budget, and then there's also one that's ranking. Whether you should put the one you're going to focus on in terms of your budget is obviously the budget metric, to see if you're missing out on any impressions, then you can bump your budget up from there. All right, so the fifth point is consistency. So this touches on the other one, which is testing, but consistently uploading products often. Because what's going to happen is that if you start to slack off and don't build the habit of uploading products, eventually you won't have any more winners left, and you're going to have to build all that momentum up all over again, and you're not going to be motivated, you're not going to want to do it, and then your store's going to die. I've seen so many competitors out there which have stores, say, months ago, and then now they have they're not even around. They don't exist anymore because they obviously weren't making the money that they wanted to, or they weren't staying in long enough, or weren't uploading enough products to see that success and be able to scale their stores. So that's what I've noticed, is that you have to stay consistent in order to be successful with Google Ads, especially with dropshipping. Now with niche stores, these are for more experienced people who want to go straight away into it. That's when you're going to do your research. You're going to be able to find. I touched on this on the other point, so it's kind of linked in that. But they're both, both work together, where you want to consistently do everything that it takes for Google Ads to work. You have to upload products consistently. You have to be doing research consistently, and then once you're getting some sales and you're getting some profit, to start hiring people and employees to take some more workload, or add on to the current workload that you're doing, and that you continue to grind it out. So the sixth point is it's volatile. So Google Ads is volatile, but it's not as bad as Facebook. So I think some people have the misconceptions that Google is so stable, but it's also very expensive. But it's actually not like that. It's the complete opposite. Google can be very, very cheap for its specific product, right? But it can also be very volatile at certain points. It's not as volatile as Facebook, like I said, where Facebook could spend like $300 and get you absolutely nothing, and then do that for like 2 days, and then you're back to square one trying to test and things. While Google, generally, if it has an off day, usually within a day or two, it comes back to its normal, or it starts to recover the next day anyway. And it's usually just something happening with the people those days. So people are either at work, or something's happening for that specific niche. And that's where you can't really catch it, because each product and each search query is a lot different. They've got different markets, different types of people there. So we really can't gauge what's the problem with that. But generally, there isn't a specific day where I can say this day is so good for Google and this day is the best, because when you have a winning product, usually it's great. And that's the same on Facebook. When you have a winning product or winning products, they usually sell every single day anyway. But it's that testing phase where it can be volatile. And the difference between Facebook and Google is that Google is not as crazy sporadic as Facebook is when it comes to banning accounts, putting limitations on you, all these strict rules and policies. Google is very, very good with those things, and I really like working with them as an advertising platform, because they're very, very straightforward with what they want you to. If there is anything to fix, they tell you. They have a rep, they have people to call to ask exact questions to do that. And I think Facebook used to have these things. A few years ago, I had my Facebook rep, which I actually flew to Singapore to meet and go to their head office and see everything, which was amazing. It was a great experience. But since then, it's just gone downhill with their advertising support, I should say. Like, they're great with their people who just use Facebook generally, but with their advertisers, they're absolutely terrible with, and their support is atrocious. Like, they can't even get basic things correct. Like, they're telling you the wrong information from a Facebook rep, which actually works at Facebook. They have no clue of what they're doing. So it becomes very hard to be able to work with Facebook in that way. But yeah, my point is, what I've learned from spending $60,000 on Google is that it was a lot easier to spend that $60,000 and get results with on Google than it would have been on Facebook at this current moment. So my seventh and last point is the actual strategy that you want to use when you're going into Google. You want to start with the all products campaign, and this is for a general store, remember. And if you have a niche store, you're more than likely to have more than one product, so you also can use this method as well. So you're going to start it in an all products campaign, where that means just the whole campaign has every single product in your store and your feed is sitting in there. Then you want to scale into single product campaigns when you have winners. So things that are starting to work, that you can see that are working and selling, you want to put them in their own campaign to be able to control, one, the budget, the negative keywords, the bid, and the bidding strategies and things that you want to work with there. You can be able to have more control over it, and that's the reason why you want to have them in their own campaign. Then once they're selling, you want to switch them from the bidding campaigns. Usually I start at maximize clicks, then I move to manual enhanced CPC from there, and then I'll move and scale into smart shopping campaigns, because I've seen, for me personally, smart shopping campaigns are the most profitable campaigns. The one thing that I don't like about smart shopping campaigns is it limits your traffic, and you get less traffic than you would have on a normal single product campaign. Because what it's trying to do is it's trying to maximize your conversion value. Usually that's what you set at, maximize your conversion value and the return that it gets you on a smart shopping campaign. So you get one, less impression share on Google, as well as less spend, slightly less spend based on your budget, obviously, as well as your CTR and things are going to start to drop from there. But it's trying to do its best to be able to get you the results that it needs. And usually it does slightly less than a single campaign would, but in the long run, in the long term, once it optimizes, it does very, very well. So you want to wait till you have 50 to 100 sales, depending on how your ROAS is initially on your single product campaign. Then that's where you're going to be able to scale from a single to a smart shopping campaign. Eventually, you won't be happy with the results of the smart shopping campaign because maybe it's slowed down, maybe it's not reaching as many people as it used to. At that point, you stop the smart shopping campaign and you go back to a single product campaign to boost up those sales again and get back into that market. And then you can come and switch between the smart shopping and that and basically test out which ones are going to work and then leave them for a certain amount of time in order to see what happens with them. And then you can switch between them, and that's how you can use different campaigns to your advantage and be able to have a long-term product that sells over and over and over again. So these are the 7 points I wanted to go through and what I learned when I spent $60,000 on Google Ads. All right, with that, now you know what I learned from spending over $60,000 on Google Ads for Shopify dropshipping, and you know what to consider before you get started in Shopify dropshipping with Google Ads, or what you need to improve in order to get your store running properly with Google Ads. Also, I'm super excited to announce the free one-to-one consult. Spots have just opened up for the Ecom Surge program, so if you're interested in that, then click the link in the description below. Go into there, book and schedule your call with me, and then we're going to sit down and actually figure out if you're a good fit for the Ecom Surge program. Please don't book if you're not serious about taking your store to the next level with Google Ads or getting started with Google Ads. This isn't a free conversation just to have a chat with me. If you want to do that, then the Facebook group is definitely for that. But if you're serious about getting to the next level with your Shopify store and with Google Ads, if you're getting started or if you're struggling with it, then click that link below. So if you enjoyed this video and you got any value out of it, then smash the like button because it really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. And hit that subscribe button to know when I release more videos on Google Ads and Shopify dropshipping, and hit that notification bell to be the first one to see when I upload those videos. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.